a founder has to know what to do if they get given 1 million, 5 million, 50 million, or 50 million, or 100 million. How do you think about breaking down that problem of knowing what to do with certain amounts of money?
I think when first-time founders have to think about fundraising, they're probably thinking one check at a time. How do I get to my seed round, right? As someone who's built a number of businesses, I wouldn't start one unless I knew where $250 million was coming from, even if it's in a couple of years. So that's not a particularly hard problem necessarily, right? You would go talk to people that have raised 250 million and said, what did you have to do? What did it look like? How did you get it? Who did you get it from? Additionally, if you're a capable person with means, you'll go talk to those other people who gave them the money and said, why did you give them the money? What does that look like? And if I'm doing this, why would you give me 250 million? No one has any skin in the game, right? It's just a very direct question to say, what's valuable enough you do this? I don't think many first-time founders are thinking like that. But realistically, if you play the game, you're never not raising money, right? So if you didn't know what you were doing next, you completely fall off the momentum train. It's just one part of startups, obviously. But if you're thinking about this and you don't know where it is, you have a bit of a problem. Now, obviously, you can cheat, right? Lots of notable people who are founders out there have found a wonderful billionaire who just went all the way through, Tesla, SpaceX, they have notable singular individuals that make it all possible. But it's not an excuse. It's just saying there is a cheat code if you can find a wonderful person that will do the lot, but otherwise you still need the answer to the question.
It's also putting yourself in the shoes of whoever's giving you the money, because they're obviously looking for their return. They need you to see that you're going to carry on raising future rounds and eventually exit someday. And so you need to have that planned out because that's what they're thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you don't know the answer for how you're making 300 million a year, that's an interesting problem you've got. Have you really thought about your business enough to know you can hit the power law?
That is such a great question for my arsenal that I'm going to take through to any founder community events, see how people react, because I think that's a very telling litmus test of a question.
Yeah, and again, you go off and talk to the Americans and they're like, what about 500 billion?
Yeah.
And it's like bigger is a cultural concept. Over here, 50 million is not much, right? It really is not much. It's not a power returning factor of any kind. Your business is too small. I'm sorry.